Check 1 2. Wow. Okay. So hey, here we are. Couple things first. Number one, I haven't shaved in about a week. That is because we don't have any electricity in our house. Crazy stuff. Hurricane Helene came through, blew through our entire area, and just kind of messed some things up. But the YouTube grind don't stop, and we're running this whole studio setup all on a little battery bank, and so we're just gonna give this thing a run for it because I'm currently sitting in an empty house in the dark. But hey, let's get started on today's video. I want to talk about something interesting that I never really thought I would give the time of day, but it has been an absolute game changer with my X100VI setup. First off, look how beautiful this small rig case is. It's just the small rig leather case. It looks fantastic. I love it. It's beautiful. You still got access to the battery door, even though I rarely ever pull the battery out of this thing or the SD card. Still got access. I think it looks great with the black. But what I'm here to talk to you today about is this lens right here, which is the wide conversion lens for this camera. And I've been shooting with the X100VI since it released in March. I got the camera pretty darn quick right out of the gate, and I've just been loving every single second of every single day shooting with this camera. I don't shoot with it professionally. I simply just have it as a family cam just to take pictures of my family and just the events that we do. And it is fantastic for that. I've never taken a video on it. I don't know how to put it in video mode. I simply just use it as a photo camera with different photo styles and just being able to capture my life and my family. But something that I've noticed, and really the best way to describe this, is something that I call being in the moment versus capturing the moment. Now, I'll kind of explain what that means. On my main wedding day camera rig setup and the setup that I use for live events that I've had on this channel a lot, I shoot with the Tamron 35 to 150 lens. And I think 35 is a fantastic focal length for shooting other people up close, right? So you're kind of, that lens that I run with that wedding setup is a 35 to 150, and that gets every single range that I could ever imagine when I am filming somebody else. This Fuji X100VI comes with a 35mm equivalent lens. It's this lens right here, little tiny lens. I like it. But the thing with that lens, and that's what I've noticed, the thing with this lens and what I've noticed just with the 35mm length overall is I tend to not be able to be in the moment as I'm capturing the moment. So something like walking and holding hands with my son and being able to just reach down and snap a quick photo. Utilizing this lens, which is a 27mm equivalent, is so much easier to do that because I'm so much closer and I'm already in the moment. Being able to turn around quickly and snap a picture and get a full frame body of my son with a 27mm lens is so much nicer because I'm so much closer. It's something that I'm calling being in the moment and being able to capture a moment versus having to step away and capture the moment. Because on a 35, typically we'll be doing something. I'll be right there being a father, being with my family, right there in the midst of everything. And I will grab this lens with this camera and I'll have to take a step or two back and then take the photo. Whereas when I'm on the 27mm equivalent, I can simply be right there, just lean a little bit further back and get a full wider frame of an entire event. And I didn't really think I was gonna give this lens a time of day. I kind of ordered it just kind of off of a whim, thinking, maybe I'll give it a chance. And honestly, it's been on my camera for the last 3 months and I haven't taken it off. Even when the birth of my daughter about a month ago, this is the setup that I brought to the hospital. And when she was born, kind of during that moment, I was taking pictures left and right, just all on the 27mm equivalent lens. Why? Because I was in that moment. I was right there as everything was happening. And hospital rooms aren't massive, and there was a lot of people in the room at the time of delivery. I didn't have a chance to step back and get my perfect framing on a 35, but I could be right there in the moment taking a picture. Now, obviously, there's one huge fatal flaw with having this teleconversion lens on here, and that is the overall size that this quote-unquote pocketable camera now becomes. Because before, with the standard lens that comes on the camera, you're able to somewhat fit it into most pockets. I mean, it's a tight squeeze. It may be a hoodie pocket, maybe a big baggy pants pocket, maybe if you got big britches, I don't know, but you can slide. Dang it. Well, we lost power. Okay, well, my battery backup isn't working as well as I thought it would. So we're down to 2 lights now. Let's keep going. Anyways, the negative thing of this lens is it used to be somewhat pocketable. It used to be where you could fit it into kind of a big pants pocket, into a hoodie pocket, into some sort of big jacket pocket. But with this attachment on there, you pretty much kiss that goodbye. It's still hand holdable and still relatively a tiny camera compared to all my other cameras, but this lens does make it less pocketable, which it's just a sacrifice that I'm willing to make in order to have that 27mm equivalent focal length. Because something I've just found myself doing is setting it in cup holders, in a stroller, setting it in kind of my wife's pocketbook, or somewhere where it's obviously not going to get scratched or dinged up, but just it can't go in a pocket anymore. So honestly, man, if you have an X100V or you have an X100VI, I highly recommend picking up this wide conversion lens because it's just a phenomenal experience. You screw it on, your camera immediately recognizes it. It immediately acts like, hey, nothing's wrong, nothing's the matter. From what I'm seeing just on the JPEGs that I'm transferring to my phone, obviously I'm not pixel peeping, but like the images still look fantastic out of it. And it's just been a great lens to be in the moment versus capturing the moment. So hopefully that helps just kind of show my thoughts on just a quick look into the wide teleconversion lens for the Fuji X100VI. I love it. I think if you have a camera like this, you should definitely have one. I prefer the 27mm focal length over the 35, and I'm learning that more and more every single day when I use this camera. So that's about all I've got for you today on this video. Obviously, I'm running out of power over here. I'm running out of juice when it comes to my YouTube studio setup that's all currently running on batteries. I'm just running out of power. So hopefully the power comes back on soon, and I will see you guys in the next video. See ya.